Well, the Elixir tournament is now been and gone, so we'll have to start preparing for the next one, won't we? So, who can say which is the next tournament? Well, I showed you one way to find out last week. Here's another one. Let's go to the main hall, and then we'll just click on the Relics tab, and there are all the relics you see: marble, steel, planks, crystal, scrolls, silk, elixir, and what comes next? Magic dust. So let's go and have a look at what we have coming up in the Magic Dust tournament. Well, here's our weekly quick pick. So first of all, let's just open the text. First of all, the shady characters that we can expect this week are over here. This is the archer, the abbot, the enchantress, and the steinling. First of all, the pre-building and pre-preparation of goods: steel, scrolls, and magic dust. Pre-training, well, we're going to do that right now. But also don't forget that if you are not an advanced player and you only have explored a few provinces, that you should do a couple more, because you can only fight tournaments in provinces that you have actually completed. Now, what are the tactical considerations in this particular province type? Let's look. Your big problem is mages. Half of the enemy that you come up against are magic forces, and they put spells on your troops, and they make your troops weaker, they make them more vulnerable to attack, and they make them less powerful in their own attack. So here's a problem. You haven't got one mage up against you now, you have two. And your tactical consideration, therefore, is you've got to go in wham, bam, bingo and get rid of the abbot and the enchantress, otherwise you will not do well. Righty, what can we use? The green boxes, remember, are the troops that are useful. Now, here's a problem, you see, because there's no one troop that's good against everyone. And don't forget that these little talks that I give are really basically for auto fighters rather than manual. Timon, in the question and answers that we made a video of this week, said that in fact they've discovered that far more people are auto fighters than manual fighters. Practically what we're going to do here, against the mages, you could either use an archer or a crossbowman, or you could use the Cerberus. Cerberus is common to humans and to elves. We've tried out a lot of combinations here just to keep it simple. You know, if one gives you one of these garbled instructions, when there are so many dogs, use so many of these, but if there are more of those, then use this, and if there are less of those, then use the other thing. It's really very helpful. So I tried to just show you one or perhaps two troop combinations. The one we're going to do here is the dog. The Cerberus can take out these chappies very easily, and he can take out these chappies also very easily. They are first echelon, they come at you. These chappies are slower, they tend to be at the back of the board. So you take this mob out first, and then if you've got a whole lot of dogs, even though these chaps aren't really very suitable to being dogged, if you've got a 5-to-1 advantage over them, you can clean them up as well. So now we can return to what I skipped, pre-train, and I would say just go for dogs and dogs. There are certain considerations that you will find down here for humans, where you might wish to use mortars and priests, and if you're a more advanced fighter, go for it, but if you're just going to auto fight, then just train dogs, that's all you need. And that's what I put on this card. For both humans and elves, war dogs should win most tournament fights in the Magic Dust province, but if there are more than two steinlings, just cut your losses and cater. So let's go look at a fight. Now I want to remind you, of course, this is not a tournament fight. How do you know that? Because there are 8 provinces. It's a normal world map fight. In tournament fighting you only have 4. Okay, well this one ought to do. Now I'm going to have to go back to that little graphic that I showed you, because inner games are changing the enemy forces, and you'll see in fact that in this tournament coming up, you're not going to come up against enchantresses, you are going to come up against banshees. But a Banshee is also a mage unit, and they're very similar, so I really wouldn't have a heart attack over that. When you do one day go and look at our QuickPick, which I will give you the link to, you're going to find no enchantresses, you're going to find Banshees, though it's also very possible that in the later tournament provinces they will not have replaced the enchantress yet, but the principle is the same. So let's go fight it. Right, so we said we were going to take 5 squads of dogs. Right, I'm not going to go and pre-explore the province, just let's go in and have a look. Here we are. Right, well the archers go first, they have the highest initiative. So now it's your turn. What do? We really need to get rid of our mages, so let's have a go at this chappie here straight away. Take him out. Nice, that's one down. Take this other mage out. So now we suddenly only have 4. No, not 4, 5. We have 5 enemy against us. And we've given him a bit of a headache. We can't get to him yet. So let's give that one a smack. And that one. So now we're down to 4. He's the only chap who's going to do our dog's damage, but not that much. Okay, let's take out the archers. I should probably have taken the this chappie, the Starling, out first, shouldn't I? But it doesn't really matter. So there we go, we've got rid of all the also-rans. Now we're down to Mr. Starling, and we will just give him smackety smack. And he's sort of fixed, isn't he? So there you go. There was only one Steinling in this fight. I couldn't find a suitable fight with lots more. It's going to be a little bit more messy if you come up against 3 or 4 of them, because they have more resistance to your Cerberuses. But that's you'll get away with 90% of these fights. You're going to win with War Dogs. If you were to come up against a fight where there were 4 Steinlings, then you can just negotiate it. Good. Well, I hope that was useful. Enjoy your tournament. Don't forget, if you want to hear my boring voice yet again and see more of these videos, then just click on the subscribe button down below, and you can perhaps give us a like too, and we will see you around. Bye.